Hello and welcome. We are at the Lego house in Billund Denmark and we're about to take a look around the massive amount of Lego cabinets that they've got right at the top where all of the 3 dinosaurs are before you go into any of the coloured zones. So all of these are done by different architects, builders, members of staff. There is loads and loads and loads to read about, but as we go around, I'll try and catch what the thought process behind some of these mocks were. And if I couldn't, I couldn't, and if I did, I did. But you can just soak in the size and scale of all of these models. Some of them are absolutely massive. Now, all of these have changed, completely changed from when I went in there last time. So it was perfect timing because when I went in for their birthday, I managed to see some of the displays and film it all then. And then literally I come back a few weeks later and it just happened to be the time of year and every single model had been ripped out and fully replaced. Like I said, some of these are on display for a year and then some of them might be only on display for maybe 6 months or so. So it's very much a case of if you can get down, do so, because if you want to see them, I would highly recommend it. If you're local enough or it's a short flight for you and you want to see what's on display currently, then get yourself down and have a look, because some of these models were absolutely fantastic and the scale of some of these were probably the biggest I've ever seen within this display cabinet up at the top. And I would probably say this is possibly one of the best displays I've seen up at the top by the dinosaurs. Now, if you're wondering what I mean by where the dinosaurs are, there are 3 massive dinosaurs, all made from different elements. One of them is purely made from Lego Technic. One of them is made from Lego itself, and the other one is made from Duplo. Now, there is a full video just from those 3 dinosaurs that I recently uploaded within the Home of the Brick playlist, just so you can have a look at all of the detail of everything that is there. Now, they do have, in front of the dinosaurs this year, which we will have a little look at, is 3 different pumpkins. Each one of those pumpkins are either made up for one of those things as well, so it'll either be the Lego brick, the Duplo brick, or the Lego Technic pieces. But we are here currently to have a look at these fantastic bits and pieces that are on display. Now, as always, in the comments below, let me know what you think. Do you have the skill to make something like this? And would you want to try and get your bits and pieces on display? And obviously, as always, let us know what your favourite bits are. And more importantly, if your work is on display, then please do let everybody know if that is yours, because it is massively appreciated to every single person that has the skill to get these kind of things on display. And like I said, it just makes it worthwhile. Keep coming back and seeing all the little different bits and pieces. So as we go around, there are loads and loads of different types of absolutely everything. Now, if you sort of squint and have a look at, you might have seen at the very, very start, there was a new Iron Man and Joker, which looked incredible. That'll get added at the end because loads of people always around a certain cabinet, which we will manage to get to, because one of the displays is absolutely enormous. And there's so much detail, you could spend ages looking at it. Whereas these bigger ones, you can absorb the detail much, much easier. But they are also absolutely fantastic. You've got to remember, every single one of these are made with different Lego bricks or Technic pieces. And they just have some amazing skill as we go around. So the video is just over 20 minutes long, just because there is so much to see. But this is what I mean with regards to the information. So I do have the camera over it, so if you want to pause it so you'll be able to read it fully, then obviously please do. But it is there for everybody to read. It has the full bits and pieces with regards to the designer, how long they've been doing it for, what their background is, how they've managed to get their bits and pieces on display. And like I said, you can spend a good amount of time looking at all of these different bits and pieces that are on display in the cabinets. Now, there are multiple cabinets dotted around the actual Lego house as well, so if you are new to the channel, then obviously welcome. This is the main sort of art gallery as such, with the massive dinosaurs in the middle, but each coloured zone, which when I say the zone, you've got a green, red, yellow and blue. Each one of them will have a completely different building activity or game to play as a family, but they also have different display cabinets around the outside as well on a smaller scale. The green section, for example, has a absolutely massive minifigure Lego city, which will always have different games playing. So at this point, because we're obviously here for Halloween, you had to try and find all the different pumpkins, which was almost impossible because some of them had hid them in really, really hard places. But that is a game that will be coming up at some point within this video. We've already played the one with the birthday cake, And then they also have different minifigures hidden around of how many Batman figures can you find, how many DC figures can you find, and so on and so forth. And there's also always different challenges, but that then links in around the corner where you can customize and build your own minifigure. You can then create a video with that minifigure, and then it goes on to your wristband where you can then view and show your friends and family for the month when you get home. The yellow zone, for example, that is a brand new area where you can now create your own sort of disco environment where you build up what you want to make, like a mosaic, you push it into a machine, and then it will start doing sort of dances and all those other little bits and pieces. But then around the corner, you can then create your own 3D fish. You have also in the green section, so that is the World Explorer, you have a Learn to Build section. So one of the times it would say be a birthday cake. One of them was obviously to learn how to build an Easter egg. This time around, it was actually learning how to make a pumpkin. So all of those things will be coming in the different coloured zone videos, but they are very much a case of what's new and then having a quick look at the displays on the cabinet rather than having a full look around each coloured zone. But if you are interested in that, those videos will be available within this playlist, which is the Lego House Home of the Brick. So you've got plenty of different videos to look forward to if you're into this kind of thing. Now you can see with regards to the elements and things that are on the floor, just with all the bits of wood that have come off, and I just think it's amazing with regards to the story that is being told. I would imagine you'll be able to kind of get the gist of what that's supposed to be on, just its own take. And you can see the little pigs and everything that are in there as well, which is a really nice touch. And obviously that is a very, very big, scary take on a wolf as well. As we come up and come round, you'll see that the colours and everything are completely different with everything. So you've got to think that that roof is just bananas. That's just the banana element that they've used. And it's really interesting with regards just to how people can utilise the different bits and pieces, which every single person can get hold of. So you can obviously build these yourself if you do have the skill level, and obviously if you've got the pieces, but you can make it on more of a micro scale if you wanted to. All the elements are there for everybody, same as what they are with every single Lego set as well, unless obviously one set comes with a brand new element, but then they will be available to order. So if you want to make, for example, the new Eiffel Tower, which is absolutely massive, but if you want to make your own smaller version, you can do, because all those pieces will be available for you to get and order. So if you don't have the space for the absolutely enormous one, you might have the space for a little smaller one to add it into your city. So you can see he has a little banana on the end of his phone, I do believe. I think that's what he is looking at. And you can see also we have a lot of pictures and things like around. These are amazing because obviously they look like something else, but no, they are all made from Lego bricks. And I just think it's a fantastic way of doing it. I'm sure everybody at some point would have had some sort of that kind of set. And this again, with all the little drills and all the different things that are made from, made from Lego bricks. You've got the cameras, you've got Game Boys, you've got cubes. This was a very, very sort of highly viewed cabinet just because of all the different kind of stuff that is on display, and it just looked crazy. It just looked really, really good with regards to all the different game cartridges that you would have put into that game's console. If you had one of them back in the day, then obviously please let everybody know in the comments below how accurate does it look. Do you recognize any of those games, or has the designer just completely made it up? You've also got the take on the Walkman with the cassette tape. You've got the pencil. Everything that you are looking at is all made from Lego bricks, which is just incredible because it does look like it is actually not made from the brick. It does pretty much like that pencil does look like just like a normal pencil. Again, you have got the Polaroid picture, so that is a nice touch, and you can see that they've added like the little rocket 3D effect on the top there. So you can see designer, he's 20 years. He's been an AFOL for 20 years, I think. I don't think he's at his age of 20 years. And then he's been coming through, and he just wants to introduce it, try and replicate as much as he can from the different Lego bricks. But again, pause it if you want to, and then you can have a look and see about all the information about every single designer. And they just keep coming, and they just keep getting bigger and bigger. Now this thing has loads and loads of details with regards to all the bridges and everything going across. You can see all the minifigures up at the top. All the colours and everything that have been used just work very, very well. You might have to turn your brightness up on your phones if you need to, because obviously some of them do come across a little bit dark, but it is true colour for this camera. So you can just see that everything is a really sort of like a nice, not grimy type colour, but it just looks on point. The greens match with the sort of the greys and everything like that. It's I think it looks really nice, and it is well out of my skill level as well. You can see how they've added in all the water, and then how they've got all of the different figures trying to come up the stairs on the side, going through the trees and everything. And it's just a very large scale model. So we're already nearly 10 minutes in. So in the first 10 minutes, what's your most favorite one that you've seen? Each cabinet, I think, is about near enough 5 minutes long. I think I might, because there is a good few cabinets, but they do have this time lots of little bits and pieces hidden up top. So I was full arm stretch and tiptoe just to try and get that. But you can see that there's a banana pinned to the wall, and I think that little monkey trying to get it down. And then that is just above that display cabinet, so that is easily missed. Right, these are little pumpkins and the little dinosaurs. I've just added this in because some of the glass cabinets I wanted to go to next were very busy. This is the Duplo element, so you can see what they've done with regards to trying to make the nose and the mouth and how they put the scoops in. And if you pay close attention to the actual dinosaur as well, they've added in all sorts of different elements, and we've got 3 of them. So you've got the Lego brick one, which is a green one in the middle, and then the yellow one is the Technic one. And what they will do is, throughout the seasons, they will either change it with regards to if they're holding an ice cream or if they've got the pumpkins and things at the bottom. And then it'd be interesting to see what they do for Christmas this year. So if you are going to go for the Christmas display, let me know in the comments below what this looks like and how much this changes. But it's just a nice thing to look at and see. And then you can quickly see there, look, that they've got the Technic pumpkins as well. So how they use all the different elements, but you can see there is a huge amount on display on the outside. So we will carry on now. This thing is absolutely massive. They have lots and lots of different things to look at within this bit just here. You can see how it goes underneath on itself. It's got multiple levels as well. You've got the bits flying from the outside of the wall. It is huge. So many people stood here for ages just to try and soak all of this in. I spent a good amount of time just trying to film it because it is on such a grand scale. Everywhere you look, there's just different bits. So you've got the bits underneath the water. You can see you've just got the little skeleton there, and then you've got the amazing sort of water dragon that's underneath. What does this remind you of? Again, in the comments below, please let us know. I think they might have used some Friends elements in there as well. You've got all the dolphins. Really bright, vibrant colours underneath. And then you've got all the nice colours on top as well. And this cabinet goes on for a good amount of while. I think within this cabinet, you've also then got the watch. And then you've got some Marvel and DC bits and pieces as well. But this thing really was difficult just to try and soak. It doesn't really do it justice too much, just because it was quite awkward just to try and film everything, because ideally I would have just walked past the cabinet in one hit and then just be done with it. But as you can imagine, so many different people just walking over to it to take photos, and rightly so as well, because it deserved all the attention that it was getting throughout the whole day. But again, because it's such a new display, nobody would have seen it before, and probably including the locals as well. So it might have only been in the cabinets for a couple of days along with everything else, because I think I saw some of the Marvel stuff being put into the glass cabinet about 48 hours before I took off. So I think all of these are basically brand new for when I was there, and I'm hoping that they are still going to be there for you right now, depending on when you have watched this, or if you did manage to see it again. Just let us know in the comments as we go around. But there are lots of different elements and different models and things being used in there. There's a full mix, I think, of Duplo bits and pieces in there as well. But you can see it is a little bit difficult because everybody does keep running over to the cabinets, which is absolutely fine. So it is a case of just carry on, and then I think we'll come back to that one later on. But this is cool. So you've got all the different kind of Lego bricks, all the different colours, and you can see how they've all opened up, and they do slightly different things. So that is a nice take on that. But just pay attention, see what your favourite colour is, and just what is actually in there. You can see one of them looks like it's a pool table. One of them looks like it's a cake. You've got the army one as well. So each one does its own thing, which is pretty cool. And then you've got like a stadium. It's a very clever take on what you thought was all going to be the same thing, depending on how you look at it. And again, you've got to look everywhere. So you've got bits and pieces up and high on the walls, which I'm sure they didn't really do last time, which I think it's a real nice way of doing the display. And then you've got these amazing sort of bugs, creatures, critters and flies now as we go around. And then again, just pause it if you need to, with regards to just wanting to read all this information. Rightly so, with regards just to how much effort these designers have put into everything. But it is interesting with regards to why they've done it and how they did it. And then you've got all of these. So if anybody recognises the stuff that we're going to be coming up to now, then obviously, again, please let me know, because some of them I recognise, some of them I don't. We have about 10 minutes left, so enjoy the next 10 minutes or so. Hopefully you're not too bored just yet, but like I did say, in the playlists there are multiple ones of these, all with the previous bits and pieces that are on display. So if you do want to look at them, just hunt the video down after. And again, thank you to everybody that has recently subscribed to the channel. It makes a big impact as we go through. But this is one of my favourite models. I think the Joker looked absolutely brilliant. I think the Joker looked better than Iron Man, if I remember rightly, but I do manage to get them both side by side. But this watch also looked ridiculous as well. It's a huge thing. So again, some of the scales coming through the camera doesn't quite do it justice, but trust me, some of these displays really are absolutely enormous, and they've been done so well. But you've got multiple designers in the same cabinet. Some designer will just have their own cabinet, depending on obviously the volume of stuff that they have designed. But you can see there, look, that the Rolex is 780 pieces, 1,635 pieces for the Joker, and 996 for Iron Man. So that designer designed those three. I think the Joker is better than the Iron Man, I think, but then they're both absolutely brilliant. So it's a bit unfair because they're on obviously slightly different scales, and one of them's on a stand and one of them isn't. But I think they both look brilliant. And then you've got these two as well. Those I'm not 100% sure what they represent, but I'm sure some of you would know. But it's clever how they've used different elements on the back with regards to that one's got the Technic, and the other one is actually all enclosed and hidden, so you can see sort of one's an open shell and one's not. But I just like the hair on that Joker. I think they've done a really nice touch, and they've just got the colours as close to as possible. So yeah, good effort. I like the combination of obviously the purple and the green, and it's slightly different green for the waistcoat with the different button and things that they've used. But obviously you can see that Iron Man does have his eyes and things in, but it's just obviously missing his centerpiece because obviously he's not wearing it. But we will continue and go around. I think we're trying to get back to the massive one on the left-hand side. I'm just trying to get in all the detail of both of these so you can make up your own mind with regards to what is your favourite. And I am just trying to get back to where I was, so we're sort of reverse back on ourselves, make sure we haven't missed anything. And then, fingers crossed, we will be able to get there in a second. If not, we'll just move on to the next one, and then we'll go back to it at the end. So it's not really a problem because there is so many different things to look at. But again, this is the Beauty and the Beast library. This thing is just ridiculous. This designer had spent so long doing that. You could, again, spend ages looking at this. But luckily, I managed to get to this one when there was nobody about, which was absolutely perfect. And you can just see all the different books, the staircases, and as we pan around to the one side and the other, you can just see the volume of stuff that they've done and all the detail that they've added in onto the inside and the external part of the building. But you can see all the minifigures, the fireplaces there. It's just one of those where you just want to almost take a seat and just sit there for about 5-10 minutes and just let your eyes take in all the detail, because every time I was looking after I'd filmed it, I was seeing new different bits and pieces as well with regards to where the actual minifigures have been put in, where the seats were, the different colours that they've used in the floor. You've got all the curtains, all the different sizes that they've used for all the elements of the books, and then just the design of everything on this sort of grand scale library. And then when we pan round and come down, you can just see they've got all the little extra bits and pieces that they've used with regards to the tiles. But you could get a lot of nice photos with this. So as we come down and come through, you can see you've got some of the figures behind, and then you've got the other figures in front. The fire looks nice. It's just everything's there. So let us know if this is in your top of your list so far, and are you a fan of this as well. But see, you've got all of this detail on the outside on the one side, and I even think what she's done is she's made a micro scale one as well. And she's put it beside the big one on the right hand side on the floor. So I think when we pan round, we'll have a look at that one as well. So you can make this as a micro scale for yourself. If you want to start making these and add them into your own collection, you can do, because like I said, you can just get the elements off the Lego website, or just pick them up from the, I think it'd be under the Lego Classics bits from just your normal shop. So there it is. So that's what they've done. They just made it completely different. So you can make a teeny tiny one if you want to. I think that's got a lot of detail within it as well. And then you can start adding those to your collection if you really get bored and you want to build some bits and pieces. And then it continues to the next designer. So Damien Thomas, what have you got to show us? So again, pause it if you need to, but some of these I think these are the skulls and just some larger models again. Yes, they are. So it's a massive thing. Again, it doesn't look like it is on the camera, but as you keep panning out, it really is a huge scale. And this is, again, it's Lego Technic this time, not Lego Brick. But you can see just the amount of pins that have needed to be used just to push it all together. If you are a Technic fan, then obviously, again, let everybody know in the comments below. Some of you I know aren't massively, and some of you are more Lego-based fans. I've been learning that as these videos have been uploaded, but if you like to collect them, I think price to part ratio, you get more out of the Lego Technic sets, especially when they go into a sale anyway. You can always pick them up at a very, very good discounted price, but there is just lots to soak in and look at. Right, we're moving on to the next one. So we've got 5 minutes to go. So this is just to do with that big mock. So now you can actually read what I was trying to get. That is for that massive one. So if you wanted to pause that and read more about that one, you can do. You can see people taking photos. All right, we've managed to get to the first cabinet, but this time we're actually going to be able to go all the way up the rocket. And then we're going to have a look at all of the different picture frames. And then we'll get to finish on the flowers on the other side. So we finally managed to get into the last display cabinet, I do believe. So this will be the last one, and then we will finish. Lots of hidden detail within this one. You did see at the very, very start of the video that there was some models from some of the shows that he put on earlier on in the year. That is a massive fan weekend in that location, which I missed out on because I was stupid enough not to put the birthday weekend and that fan weekend in the same trip. I actually arrived a week early and just didn't really think it through. But that is a enormous scaled show that they've got in a slightly different town to Billund. I think it's about 20 minutes, half an hour from there. If you are local, please correct me if I'm wrong. It's just what I've heard from other people. But yeah, from what I can gather, you could have bought the tickets on the day. I couldn't actually find where you got the tickets from, but you just get the tickets at the door and then you can walk in. But it was extremely busy. So that is the kind of skill and scale of the models that will be on display. As we then pan around, the models just get even more detailed. And like I said, I think you've got all the Beetle album covers in one of the displays. You've got this amazing thing, which is half track, half wheel. Just a bizarre mix of everything, which looked brilliant, obviously, as it would do. It's on the display there for a reason. And then from this one, like I said, I think you've got the Beatles, and then we will finish on the flowers. But there is so much hidden detail within this one. You can see you've got all the hooks, how they've used all the tracks, just the different elements that they've used as well. Kind of screams a bit of Apocalypse Burger, really, from the Lego Movie 2, with regards to just having a bit of fun and a complete mashup of everything. But there's just loads of hidden detail on the back and on the front, so that's why you have to try and walk around everything. And again, we'll have a good look at those in a second, because there was somebody stood there, so we'll do the flowers and then we'll go back. But luckily, some of the cabinets have the bits where you can walk down the side, so you can now get a good look at these. The flower elements are becoming extremely popular within the actual, obviously, Lego company, because they seem to be making more and more of them. If that is something that you've bought and collected, then obviously please do let us know. Right, I've managed to get there, run back over before somebody else tries to take some photos of all of these, because again, if you can name all of these Beetle covers, then please do. I can't, because I have no idea. But I'm sure there might be a couple of Beetle fans. If you have watched this far into the video, that'll be your challenge. What album is what cover? Give yourself a bonus point for each one that you can answer. I wouldn't know how to check up on that anyway, so you can lie about it. But you can have that conversation in the comments below. But they did look absolutely brilliant, and I think she did an absolutely fantastic job. And I think she found it harder to pick the actual type of covers, rather than it was just a selection of them rather than all of them. But it did look absolutely incredible. I would imagine that would have taken a huge amount of time to do per cover as well. A lot of skill involved in doing that. Again, like everything that's on display, much better than anything that I could ever do ever. Alright guys, we are now slowly starting to run out of time, so I'm going to say it now. If you can like, subscribe and all that good stuff, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Obviously, it does massively help with the growth of the channel, so muchly appreciated. The upload schedule now has obviously slightly changed, if you've noticed. So all the Lego-based stuff currently will be at the start of the week, and then it'll be different theme park stuff towards the end of the week. And I'm sort of trying to get like a 50-50 mix, because obviously the name of the channel is The Detached Brick, so it isn't solely to do with Lego bits and pieces. But we will see how we go for the next couple of months and just see if it builds any traction or not, and then we'll go from there. Again, comments below, let us know what your favourite model is, let us know if you've managed to actually get to the Lego house in the 2022 season. But I'm going to go quiet now for the last minute or so you can enjoy everything. But guys, as always, thank you very much for watching. You guys take care, and I hope to catch you in the next one. Ta-da.
가자.